Hola clase. In this section, we will be looking at indefinite and negative words and sentences. So let's look at the concept. We have a category of words that are called indefinite. So for instance, when you're eating out at a restaurant and the waiter says, "Would you like something to drink? Can I bring you something to drink?" That something is indefinite. He doesn't know what it is, or she doesn't know what it is yet, until you say what it is. So can I bring you something to drink? And you say, yes, I'd like an iced tea, or yes, I'd like some water, please. So once you give the reply, then it becomes something definite. When it's a question, it's indefinite. So we have those indefinite words in Spanish as well. Algo, alguien, algún, etc. Bien. So you can read through those examples, but let's scroll down to the essential structure. So this is the structure when you reply in the affirmative to a question in the indefinite. ¿Les gustaría algo de tomar? Sí, por favor. ¿Me puede traer una taza de café? So, indefinite, seeking information. Definite, providing that information. Bien. However, when we reply to an indefinite word in the negative, right, we don't provide something definite to that indefinite, then we use a separate set of words, the negative words, nada, nadie, ninguno, etc. These words are the negative form of these words up here, algo, alguien, algún. We will look at those in a chart a little bit later on. So I'll go ahead and scroll down. So here you have the indefinite words from the top of the page and the negative words from the section below that. You should learn them, of course, what they mean if you don't know that yet, but you should also learn them as pairs. Algo, nada. Alguien, nadie. Bien? We'll see why. When you reply to an indefinite question with the negative, in Spanish, we need to negate the verb and the indefinite word. This gives rise to the structure that's called a double negative. In English, as you know, the double negative is ungrammatical. It's considered incorrect. But in Spanish, it's correct. It's how we say things. So if we say, for instance, ¿te llamó alguien anoche? No, no me llamó nadie. This first no negates the verb. The second no, nadie, negates alguien. We must negate the verb and the indefinite. We can do both at the same time if we put the negative word in front of the verb. No, nadie me llamó. So we can say, no, no me llamó nadie. No, nadie me llamó. Both are correct. If you need to focus on one structure, learn this double negative structure instead, simply because it's always correct. Whereas putting the indefinite in front of the verb sometimes has some stylistic restrictions. Not that it's incorrect, but this structure above is always correct. So if you want to economize, practice this one. Okay? So let's take a look at the essential structure 2. This is when you're answering an indefinite question with the negative. So verb indefinite, no. No verb, negative. ¿Está bien? That's why you want to practice both. Learning when you see algo in the question, when you answer negatively, you're going to answer with nada. When you see alguien, you have to answer with nadie. That's why it's important to learn them as word pairs. So here you have an example. ¿Viste algo? No, no vi nada. Here's an example where putting nada in front of the verb would be a little bit awkward stylistically. No, nada vi. Nada vi, you'd be understood, but I don't know any native speakers that would use it that way. ¿Viste algo? No, no vi nada. No vi nada. So there's no verb plus negative is the structure you want to focus on. Bien. ¿Fuiste al cine con alguien? No, no fui con nadie. ¿Cenaste con algunos amigos? No, no cené con ningún amigo. This we want to highlight that sometimes we may ask in the plural, algunos, algunas, and we usually reply in the singular, ningún, ninguna. Bien? All right, we've included a few sayings for you to see. Nunca digas nunca jamás, nunca digas de esta agua no beberé, etc. Those are famous sayings. These last two especially. Mala hierba nunca muere. Practice them on Quizlet, practice them as opposites, on Quizlet as well, and then do these few exercises. ¿Está bien? Muy bien, clase. That wraps up Module 9 in terms of grammatical structures. The next two units are culture and /reading and the assessments. Bien, hasta luego, clase.